All right, here with Will Adams, the newest commitment for the Georgia Tech recruiting class. Just kind of tell me how you ended up at Georgia Tech.
Well, I knew I was getting close to my decision. I knew I was gonna kind of make my decision near the end of the summer. Georgia Tech wasn't even a figment in my imagination, and it was kind of down to Kentucky and Louisville, and I hurt my knee. Had to get 10 stitches in it, and I was supposed to go to dog night on Friday night at Georgia, and the Tech camp the next day on Saturday. I wasn't able to go to dog night, and but I contacted Coach Preston and Coach Spence here at Georgia Tech, and I asked them if I could just come down just to be down here, and they were like, "Oh yeah, definitely." So I went ahead and came down, and I met with Coach Spencer and I met with Coach Preston, and then Coach Johnson called me in his office, and I didn't even think, I had no idea, and I was talking to him, and then he offered me. I was just shocked, and he kind of wanted a decision right then. And I was just like, "Coach, you got to give me a couple days. I got to think about this." So I went home, talked to my parents, and called them back the next day and asked them to give me a couple more days. And so I spent the next two days just thinking which school I was going to go to. And then Wednesday morning, or Tuesday morning, excuse me, I just woke up and I just kind of knew, it just kind of hit me. I was like, well, I know I need to be at Georgia Tech. That's where I'm needed and that's where I want to be. So I kind of let it marinate the rest of Tuesday, and then Wednesday, I called Coach Johnson and I told him. Then I wanted to wait to announce it until I could have the ceremony. So, but yeah, that's kind of how I landed. I kind of knew the entire time after the offer that I was going to go here because, my grandfather went here, and he meant a lot to me, and my uncle went here, and my brother goes here, and my best friend is going to go here. So, it was the right place for me. So that's kind of how I knew.
I mean, is it a relief now to have that kind of figured out?
Man, it feels like an aircraft carrier just lifted off my chest, man. It felt great. After I committed, I just took a big breath, and I was just like, man, I'm glad it's over, but I'm glad I now have a place to go for sure. Because that's kind of the biggest part, is not so much where you want to go, but just where's there a place for you. As far as that was the biggest deal for me as a recruit. I wanted some place to go. I remember sitting with my dad and just telling him, "Dad, I don't think I'm going to get a single offer." I was like, "I don't think I'm going to get offered by a single school." And he was like, "Son, you're going to go somewhere. You're going to go somewhere. You're going to go somewhere." So, and it finally just came. The offers started coming in, and then the right places started coming in, and then the right place came in. So that's kind of how it went for me.
And how much was winning a factor? I mean, you won back-to-back state championships in high school, and how much is competitiveness and kind of your expectations for Georgia Tech? You got your ring on there.
Oh yeah.
How much did that play a factor too? And
a ton, because I was sitting there with Coach Johnson way back, or not way back, a couple weeks back, and I told him, Coach, I've done all I can do at the high school level twice. I want to go somewhere where we're going to win a national championship, and that's the goal. Not one of those schools where it's like, yeah, we want to win the national championship, just because that's what every school says, but some team where it's driven, we're driven to win, and the success is prominent here, and I know it's going to happen here in the next six years or so.
And Sandy Creek's had pretty strong connections. Calvin, now you got Isaiah, who's your former teammate here. Kind of was it that a nice little bonus getting to keep the pipeline open?
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about not even coming up to Georgia Tech, on that Saturday. But my dad was like, "Well, it's not even about you now." He was like, "You want to just keep that pipeline for Coach Walker, because all the players. 3 players have already come into Georgia Tech from Sandy Creek." So he was like, "It's important to keep that open for Coach Walker and for the kids to come in." I was like, "You're right, so I'll go." that's kind of a lot of the reason I came, just to keep that pipeline going. You know, and I'm proud to now be a part of that Sandy Creek, Georgia Tech family.
And, offensively, kind of, how do you think you fit into sort of the grand plans after you've talked to Coach Johnson with what they want to do here in the future?
Perfectly, because we run a lot of the exact same things as Sandy Creek. So, I mean, the offense here is criticized by everyone, but I mean, it's not an offense. As someone told me, it's not an offense you can prepare for in a week. So, I mean, they're going to win with that offense, and I'm going to be playing, and I'm excited about it.
What was your favorite part of your visit up here when you came up here?
Well, I've been around Georgia Tech my entire life, as we've already discussed, but I think more importantly than the visits when I was actually visiting Georgia Tech was when I was up here for a Rising Seniors Camp. We were using the facilities and everything, and I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable in the stadiums and working out in their workout places. I just felt comfortable, and I kind of thought about that when I was trying to make my decision. And I was like, well, if I felt comfortable, then nothing really was blaring to me like, oh, this is so awesome, and nothing was like, oh, I don't like this. And I like that. I like that it fit exactly, what I needed.
I guess kind of like, what are you looking forward to now? You got a three-peat? Is that the...
Yeah, man. Got to get a third one my senior year, and then go on, win national championship.
All right, thanks, Will. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.